This is Sarah Watson, and I'll be presenting 5 strategies that can be utilized with ELL students. My first strategy is the My Neighborhood Map strategy. It's a group activity in which students design a map of the neighborhood and then are asked to create and answer questions in regard to the map. It's supported by Vygotsky and his ideas that social interactions are important and need to be involved in the learning process in order to help students learn. I would utilize this strategy with students at the non and limited English language levels, but I would adapt it for each group, such as adding pictures, food for a grocery store, a shirt for a clothing store, things along those lines to help students at a lower English language level, and also reduce the complexity of the questions, such as what is next to the grocery store versus how would you get to the grocery store from the school. My second strategy was the impromptu skits. In this method, students are given specific situations and then asked to act them out and how they might respond to a situation. You would start with skits that are more common situations to the students, such as them needing a pencil or them having a question in class, and move from there to more complex situations, and ideally, towards the end of the process, a series of days in the school year, have students make suggestions for the skits and or the topics. Again, it's supported by Vygotsky and the social interaction component. This strategy I would use with limited language learners and possibly some fluent students, but to me it seems a little simplified for fluent level students. The third strategy is the story sequence strategy, in which students are presented a series of pictures and the students have to describe what is happening in the pictures. I could see myself using this same set of pictures in possibly 4 classroom groups and having each group come up with their own story, because there's not a right or wrong picture, there's not a right or wrong story in the pictures. For more fluent students, because I would utilize this strategy with both fluent and limited English language level students, I would have the more fluent students have to maybe cut apart and arrange the pictures in a story, again with not a right or wrong order, but simply to have a little more complex thinking process. And again, it is supported by Vygotsky's social learning and social interaction component. The fourth strategy that I found really interesting, was the phone picture strategy, in which students are asked to take 5 pictures of things that are important to them, and only 5. They can't take a larger number and kind of limit it down to 5. And then the students have to explain why those things are important to them. To me, the explanation component is what is most interesting. I would utilize this strategy with fluent and limited English language level students, and depending on their level, encourage them with lists of words to help them describe the pictures and things along those lines. It's the social interaction component which supports the use of this activity. Lastly, I find the word maps strategy to be very exciting, and one that I would use for all 3 levels of language learners. It's a great way to explore vocabulary and topics using both words and pictures. I've actually utilized this strategy in a 3rd grade classroom with only 1 English language learner and a group of other students. It's a great way of expanding vocabulary for everyone and meanings, but it also can be done more simply with pictures. The image I put up is one of rain, and it's a series of words, but you could simply adjust those words and put a picture of an umbrella as opposed to the word umbrella, and have students kind of create a word map in pictures as opposed to simply written words. Again, this strategy is supported by Vygotsky. If you can't tell, I am a big proponent of social interactions for student learning. Thank you so much, and have a good day. Bye.